Hello and welcome to another whiskey conversation. I'm here with Mark SoRelle, St. Liberty Whiskey. We are actually setting in Bone Spirits, where this wonderful juice is produced. But it's not the end of the journey for this magical whiskey. So, Mark, St. Liberty, what is St. Liberty? Kind of give us the background and what it is.
So I started working on this project 4 years ago. Really trying to create a whiskey brand. And I kept running across these stories of these incredible bootlegging women. And I really didn't know a lot about them. I've been in the industry 30 years and didn't really know that so many women were involved in the industry way back, pre-Prohibition, during Prohibition. Right. And I wanted to, tell these women's stories. So St. Liberty is about, the name comes from the Liberties won and lost in 1920. Women got a right to vote in 1920, and they also voted in Prohibition in 1920. So
tough year.
That opened up an industry for a lot of these women. A lot of these women had lost their husbands to mining accidents, farming accidents, all kinds of different things. Just basically, some of these it was a hard life. For a lot of, and they had kids to raise, and moonshine and whiskey was a way to go. Speakeasies and all that kind of stuff.
So the first one out of the series is Birdie's Gulch. Bear Gulch.
So Montana's full of gulches.
Okay.
And Bear Gulch was where we started at with the concept of the brand. Bertie was the very first African American, one of the very first African American settlers. Women settlers in the Montana Territory. She was known to have the best speakeasy just south of Missoula, and was known to have the safest and the best moonshine west of the Rockies.
All right.
So it was she had the top parlor out there. Everyone knew Birdie.
Okay, and so this whiskey filled in Texas. It's aged in Texas, but then because of the series, this is finished in Montana, correct?
So what we do is we try to pair craft whiskeys with these incredible stories of these women, and it doesn't have to be from Texas. The next one's going to be from Canada. It's going to be Canadian rye. We're going to do a 4-grain for another one. So we have 6 women that we're looking at right now in the series. So what we do is basically it's crafted wherever, and we're trying to find craft distilleries, and then we perfect it in the States where these women were, and we try to use the same water source they used nearly 100 years ago. So we take it all the way up there, cast strength at 115, after aging for 4 years here at Bone. And then we proof it up there to 87 with the same water source. Yeah. And it really changed the minerality and the freshness of the water coming out the Rockies really changed the profile a little bit.
Which, I think is a fun concept. So it's being distilled here. And this is a series dedicated to celebrating women in whiskey. Even before women in whiskey was a thing, this is kind of giving back to that heritage. And so you said one's going to be out of Canadian rye, which is great. This one's out of Montana.
So the next one's actually another woman bootlegger, Josephine Duty, that we're going to do with the Canadian rye. Then we have one out of Marble, Colorado. We're going to do. We're partnering with the distillery down there to bottle it for us. So these are all finished off in Lola, Montana. Great distillery. They got some great products. Just a fun family to work with. Yeah, I got really lucky partnering up with these guys. So we'll do 2 there. Then we have one that we want to do out of New York.
Cool.
So there's
a lot, but it's a fun series. The St. Liberty, it's about celebrating women, which I think is important. Correct. Now, when you brought up something that was how the water source where Birdie lived really changed the whiskey.
So when we went up on the first bottling run in Montana, I had Bone proof with their water here, down to 87. And I wanted to compare it, see how it changed. Yeah. And it did. It probably increased the flavor profile by about 10 to 15%.
Wow.
The juice we had was great. The juice we ended up with was even better.
Wow.
And I was really, everyone was happy. We were sitting there smelling it all day on our hands. Yeah. So we're wiping the dew off the corks and stuff. So we, the whole family got together. One of my other partners, Mike Finn, got with me, and we just started bottling and labeling.
So, and this is a bourbon, but it's a high rye bourbon, right?
So we're 70% corn, 27.5% rye, and then 2.5% malted barley. So you're going to get some sweetness, you're going to get some spice off of it. But what I love about it is the nose is one of my favorite things. I get stone fruit off of it.
I get the fruit.
I've heard candied orange off of the nose.
I can see the orange. See, I get growing up in the Panhandle. Behind a wheat field and all that. I get a lot of the grain.
Right.
I get a lot of the grain present, which is not a bad thing. It's just
no, it's good. I mean, there's a lot of things going on, and it keeps developing in your mouth. I love the taste because it's got some uniqueness to it that most whiskeys are out there. It keeps developing. Number one, you're going to get some vanilla, of course, off the but you're also going to get some molasses, but also on the
brown
end,
sugar.
It's got smoke on it, and that's because of the two different char barrels.
I was going to say I get that smoky, that charness, but that little bit of caramelized brown sugar in that, which was
but it's light on the smoke. And
yeah,
it's super appealing to a lot of people. So
if you're drinking whiskey, what is your go-to preference for? Because there's no wrong way to drink it. So what's your go-to preference
to drink this or
whiskey in general?
Whiskey in general is on the rocks. I love on the rocks, and then I love making cocktails.
All right. So what is your favorite cocktail?
So my favorite cocktail with whiskey is a Gold Rush.
Okay.
We've got one that we're a series of drinks we're coming out with. This is a Rose Gold Rush.
Okay. What is a Rose Gold Rush?
It's got rose water. It's got rose petal water in it. It's got orgeat in it. So it's got a little bit of some added stuff to it and egg white. So
fancy.
Yeah, it's fancy.
Not your everyday bartender's drink.
It's in a little fruit glass. No, it's a beautiful cocktail, but the flavor profile is fantastic. And I love the name because I think it goes really well with women, the rose gold part. So is there a Gold Rush recipe that you have that like somebody can make at their house that doesn't involve rose water? Gold Rush is super easy because how it depends on how fancy you want to do it. You make your own simple syrup. That's the fun part.
That's easy. Yeah.
Yeah. So use pure sugar.
Right. Equal parts sugar and equal parts water.
Yeah. But what I'll do in there is I'll do either sugar or I'll do honey.
Yeah.
I love doing honey with it.
Honey's
and then
good.
I'll put lemon zest in there.
Did one with lavender. It was really nice too.
Yeah, lavender's fantastic too. So, and then all you do is fresh lemon juice. So one whole lemon.
So simple syrup, lemon juice, and whiskey. All right. Okay. So we're going to have to make this, and we'll make it as one of our cocktails that we share, and we're going to use St. Liberty and see how it comes out. I don't don't know that I can pull together rose water, so
you don't have to worry about that part.
I'll come to you to find the right
I'll send you the recipe, but yeah, it's a little bit more complicated.
Right.
But Lana over at the Golden Goose did a great job with this cocktail. I tried it there and fell in love with it and asked her where I could use it. So
awesome. Okay, well that's cool. And y'all are gonna have this out on the website?
Yeah, it'll be on the website.
So where can they find information about St. Liberty and the whiskeys that you have coming out?
So we have everything on Birdie is on the website right now. On stlibertywhiskey.com.
Okay.
There's also go to at St. Liberty Whiskey on Facebook or Instagram. There's a lot of stories out there. You get to see me actually with a lot of people at the tastings. I do all the tastings right now.
Nice.
It's fun, and we take photos with everybody, and it's been
I've seen some of those. Yeah,
it's fun. People like it. So
yes, people love free tastings.
And then as we progress, we're going to have some more stuff coming out on the next one. Really, I mean. The brand's progressing faster than we thought it was going to.
So, do we have a time frame on our next one that you can share
for September?
Oh, okay,
so
all right. So quicker than we
the
thought.
Price on the whiskey right now. So
okay, well that's always the challenge, isn't it? Okay, so now Gold Rush, you like it on the rocks? Just a fun trivia. What music do you listen to when you're sitting out on a Friday evening on your patio drinking whiskey on the rocks?
Whiskey on the rocks. Actually, it's from the '80s. So I'm 50. Almost, and so lately I've been listening to the Fix a lot.
Okay, all right.
Songs from the Fix and a whole bunch of other different stuff, which is fun. So, and I like alternative music. So,
well, there you go. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, St. Liberty Whiskey, Mark, Bertie's Bear Gulch Bourbon. I'm going to get this right. It's a long name, but I'm going to get it right. It's worth checking out. You can pick it up at
in Austin local retailers. Most of the independents have it. You can get it at any Specs in Austin, and starting next week or the week after that, it'll be in all totals. Okay, and then when outside of Austin, what's kind of that time frame to get it outside of Austin? Hopefully by the end of this month, we'll have it in the Total Wines or in Dallas and Houston, and San Antonio. Specs is falling right behind. It looks like Goody up in Dallas will be going soon. So. All right, all your favorites. Keep an eye out in the stores for it. Check it out. Support, and help us celebrate women in whiskey. Until next time, cheers, y'all. Cheers.